Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to It Takes a Village. This is the second installment of our informational webinar series being brought to you by the Guam Homeless Coalition to really highlight the different members that are part of the Guam Homeless Coalition and the awesome work they do to assist the community. This morning, we have the Micronesian Resource Center with us today. The Micronesian Resource Center One-Stop Shop is a project of Manyetlu, a local nonprofit organization that empowers and educates children and their families facing adversity to change their lives for the better. MRCOSS, as it's lovingly called, provides informational and educational resources to individuals and families from the neighboring islands in Micronesia as they transition into their new lives in Guam. Since 2018, MRCOSS has been providing accessible services that empower families to achieve their goals and create opportunities to contribute to their community. I would like to introduce Mr. Joel Setik and Dar Kepis, who are going to be our presenters today. So take it away.
Thank you very much, Sam, and thank you very much for the Homeless Coalition for having us today. I'm going to be sharing my screen for this presentation I've prepared for everyone here today. All right, Raranim everyone, Kasilelia Mokidin Lenwo, Ali Yakwe, Siro and Hafaday. My name is Joel Setik. I'm the project director under the Micronesian Resource Center One-Stop Shop. And with me today, we have our lead caseworker, Miss Darlene Kefes. We'll be talking about the services of the Micronesian Resource Center One-Stop Shop and how we can help the community and how maybe you can refer those that in need that can avail of our services. So my Micronesian Resource Center is a project of a local nonprofit organization, Manyelu, whose mission is to empower and educate children and their families facing adversity to change their life for better. And that's the mission of Manyelu, and we envision a community of different from diverse culture, from different places, thriving together to achieve success here on the beautiful island of Guam and all over the region in Micronesia. So the Micronesian Resource Center, or our acronym MRCOSS, so don't get confused if you hear MRCOSS throughout the presentation. It's not a person, it's the acronym for the Micronesian Resource Center One-Stop Shop. So we provide informational and educational resources to individuals and families from the neighboring islands from Micronesia as they transition to their new lives on Guam. So we target the migrant population, but really our services really covers everybody that call Guam their home, and also anybody in the region that might need our services, that we can help them try to reconnect them to back home to the agencies back home or other resources that help them, again, documents or anything like that. And the Micronesian Resource Center, we are staffed with knowledgeable and multilingual caseworkers who are able to speak the 4 languages of the Federated States of Micronesia. That includes Chuukese, Pohnpeian, Yapese, and Kusrayan. The Micronesian Resource Center is funded by the United States Department of Interior, Office of Insular Affairs. So meet the staff. So far we have a staff of 12 here at the Micronesian Resource Center. We have, if you see the pictures, this majority of the flags is from the island of Chuuk. This is the reason that there's a lot of the Chuukese community here on Guam. It also affects from the migrating patterns from the Micronesian, from the island hopper. So Guam is like the hotspot for seeking the American dream. So the Chuukese population is high. That's why there's a lot of Chuukese caseworkers, but we also cover the different islands of the FSM. We have Kusrai, we have Pohnpei, and also Yap. So our services. So the Micronesian Resource Center provides services absolutely for free. And we'll talk more about if there are certain fees that applies to some services, but when it comes to clients, everything is free. So there's 5 main focus of these services we provide. The first one is case management. Second is educational and informational workshops. The third one is interpretation and translation services. And the fourth one is youth empowerment out in the community, as well as the community outreach aspects. So how do we focus and bring out services. So we have our Edmund Wengi Micronesian Learning Center. This is a safe space where we invite partners, we invite the community to come and utilize this safe space of learning, where they can utilize the equipment such as laptops, Wi-Fi, the printer, to gain access to resources for education, for public benefit, and also for opportunities for learning. For example, if there's any workshop happening in the community, they can utilize the Edmund Wengi Micronesian Learning Center. There's some pictures as to kind of exhibit the learning center, how it's being utilized by the community members or partners, and how it's being set up as a classroom. We can even invite our partners or anybody to have like meetings. It holds about 12 to 15 individuals in the Edmund Wengi Micronesian Learning Center. And this Micronesian Learning Center is located at our office here in Tumuning. It's just right across of Applebee's. There's a road leading behind of American Printing. Just follow that road and you'll be seeing our office at the Edmund Wengi Micronesian Learning Center. The second one is our mobile access to information van. We have two vans right now, or we call them the My Van. It's technically an office on wheels where we equipped it with supplies. The learning center could be also on the wheel where we bring the learning center out to the community. Or the neat thing about the My Van is instead of having individuals traveling all over the island, going through different government agencies or nonprofit organization to seek services, we get all the different information or application into the van, and then we bring it out to the community, especially the hard to reach communities like the pocket communities all over the island, so people can have access to all the different resources, different available benefits or assistance that they can avail of. And then the third one, we have our office. Our main office is located in Tumuni. So people are able to do walk-ins. We accept walk-ins every day and also set appointments. And our office, as I mentioned earlier, we are located in Tumuni, right behind American Printing. And we are open from Monday to Friday, except for holidays. And we are open from 9 o'clock in the morning all the way to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So the one-to-one case management. So we'll dive into the services and more details about what we provide. So the first one is the one-to-one case management. This one's really, it enables the caseworkers to build relationship with our clients to understand the goal that the clients are trying to reach. Example, clients could come to their office to get maybe a document, to maybe a passport. So understanding that that's the need, and then we provide them with the assistance and guidance to help them gain that passport or that document that they seek. So we help with application from the FAS passport application process. So we help them prepare their applications so we can retrieve their passport from the FSM, from Palau, and from the Marshall Islands if they need. We also do social security card and benefits application processing. Sorry, not processing, but the application preparation. So we help clients with the application for Social Security card, the benefit, and then we will refer them or direct them to the Social Security Administration. We also do retrieval of FSM birth certificates. We help them with the application as well, help them notarize with the FSM consulate office or other notary public areas, and then we send the application to the FSM appropriate offices. And then we also help individuals with the application process of getting Guam ID and also the driver's license application. The housing placement aspect, we assist individuals to apply online with GURA with the housing program. Also, when Section 8 opens up, we also help individuals to apply or submit their lottery or their application form for the lottery. So we are able to help assist clients to fill out those application and enable them to understand the application process and also what's required for the application, and help them to submit with GURA. During the pandemic and also after Typhoon Mawar, we've also opened up our office to assist individuals and their families to apply for pandemic assistance program or even the disaster assistance programs. So we help them with the application process with those, preparing their documents. The biggest service that we have so far is the immigration document or the I-94 retrieval and the I-765. So I-94 is the It's a document that the FAS COFA migrants or COFA citizens has when they enter the U.S. soil. Once people or individuals lost that, we help them retrieve that by searching up their records online on USCIS website, or we even help them apply with the I-765, which is the employment authorization document. It's an employment document that we help with, which or applying that at the immigration's office in the United States. The process is a little bit lengthy, but it gets people back on their feet and get that document ready. And then we also do composing of affidavits or other forms and other personal documents if they need for appointment. Example, if they need a document from Gura stating that they make this much money. If they cannot handwrite it, we can help them type those things out and have them printed and then have them signed to submit to any of the agencies that requested. And then the last one, we do public assistance application packet. So we will help you fill out the application for food stamp, for Medicaid, MIP welfare, and then we'll prepare your packet to make sure that they are completed before we submit to our friends at the Department of Public Health to ensure that the application process is smooth and also you get the benefit as fast as possible. And that's the one-to-one case management. We'll move on to the next one, or sorry. Yes, the next slide is about just the amounts of clients we've been helping from 2016 until last year. We're hoping to continue to keep growing this amount of our clients. It shows the incline of or a rising of clients due to our team growing, and we hope to grow our team more and then hope to reach out to the community. And by being part of a webinar like this, we hope to reach out to more people, to those in need, so we can provide our services and keep the island access to information and to benefits. I'll hand it over to my colleague, Darlene Kefas, to talk more about the workshops and the other services.
Thank you, Mr. Joel. Hafide and Casaleria. As mentioned, my name is Darlene. I am the lead caseworker here at the Micronesian Resource Center for In-Office Services, and I will continue on for the rest of this presentation. So for the next service, I will be talking about the workshops that we actually offer here at MRCOSS. I apologize. My internet might be a little laggy, so I won't be able to see. Okay, so the first workshop I'll be introducing will be the half-a-day orientation. With the half-a-day orientation, this workshop is a workshop created for us to kind of explain some of the services or some of the assistances that our brothers and sisters that are migrating from the FAS or the ones that are migrating from the FAS can actually avail for, or we actually talk about the differences in laws with laws back home and here on Guam. As Mr. Jaya mentioned, a lot of the assistance that we offer would be for our for migrant families, but not limited to just the migrant families. But this one mainly just focuses on the differences with law, education, and some of the services or assistances that they can avail for while here on island. As mentioned, this is just kind of a breakdown of what they talk about during the half-a-day orientation. So it is about Guam. It's all about the laws and regulations. It talks about the resources and benefits that are available for COFA citizens. For example, with COFA citizens, they can only apply for Medicaid while they're here on Guam and not food stamp within the public benefits. But if they do have U.S. born children, they are able to apply for SNAP and cash. And then it also talks about with the differences with education and then job opportunities and labor laws that are different here on Guam, and then human trafficking, and then the rights that they have while living here, and then tips to be a productive community member as well. We do a lot of elaboration during the workshop. So with questions that they have, our facilitators are trained to kind of answer and mitigate throughout the whole workshop when they're facilitating. And then the next workshop that we have would be we're ready to drive workshop. So this workshop is actually a workshop that to help kind of ease our client or help our clients when they're trying to do their driver's license. So this one is mainly geared towards the written test part of receiving your driver's license. On Guam, it takes you about 2 years to get your driver's license. The driving portion is actually the easiest part of getting your driver's license, but then actually taking the written test part, I believe that part is the one that a lot of people get stuck on. So when they actually take the Ready to Drive workshop, they'll take a pre-test for us to just kind of see what they already know. And then after the pre-test, we go through a study guide portion where we kind of go through all of the questions on the pre-test. And then if they had any questions about the questions and the answers that we give them, then we answer it during the workshop. And then afterwards, we also give them a post-test. And then the post-test, we determine how much they've already done. Or how much they've already done or how much they've already learned. With this one, we actually work with UOG to actually, the test is not supposed to mimic the one that you take at UOG, but it's kind of similar too. So after the Ready to Drive workshop, we give them a copy of the test and then also a copy of the Guam Driver's Handbook. We let them know that they should study both because our test that we give is not the one exactly the same as the one at UOG, but it's just to kind of help them get an idea of what it would be. So then they're also given the handbook so that they can also study the handbook on top of the study guide that we provide to them. And then our next one would be our workforce development program. So with this one, it prepares individuals with giving them tips on how to create resume. It helps them with job search. And then it also provides some videos on how they should hold themselves within interviews or when they're applying for a job, or lingo that they should be saying when they're in interviews. We actually have a program within Banyelu called the Employment Empowerment Initiative Workshop that's actually based around the Workforce Development Program. But so when we do get clients that come in inquiring about job seeking services, we refer them over to our Employment Empowerment Initiative program. But we do have staff that are trained to facilitate the workforce development program within MRCOSS as well. So we are slowly starting on working to get these workshops out, to start actually facilitating these workshops as well. My apologies, I'm getting kind of tongue twisted because I'm a little nervous, but I will still keep providing the information as it goes through. But as mentioned, this workshop does provide info on how to create resume, job search, and how an individual would hold themselves during an interview. So it shows the differences between the right way and the wrong way. The training that they did receive for the facilitation of this program was from Department of Labor as well. And then our next one would be our adventures in parenting. With this one, this specific workshop, they actually go through 6 sessions where they talk about parenting skills, how they, not necessarily how they should, but recommended ways that they would interact with their children when they're behaving a certain way. With this specific workshop, they did get training from CEDARS. The training was from the center on, or it centers on the social and emotional foundations of learning. It was a curriculum and training given from CEDARS to MRCOSS staff so that we can actually facilitate this workshop to clients that actually come in. We get a couple of, not a couple, we actually get some referrals from Child Protective Services for clients that need the parenting workshops. And I believe this year we're actually currently on our 4th cohort. So we are moving along with this one and we're hoping to get more participants within the year. So if you're interested in this, please let us know. We can actually refer you to the facilitator so that they can get you scheduled for that as well. And then we have our drug and alcohol prevention and our building a common ground. So these 2 specific workshops, they weren't actually written into the grant that we're using now, but they were created from suggestions from the community and stakeholders that we work with within MRCOSS with the drug and alcohol prevention program, or this one, we usually pitch it during October because it is a drug and alcohol prevention month. What they do is they have presentations where they talk about the effects of taking drugs and alcohol. Last year, we actually went out to Hemelanis and we had a presentation prepared for the children where we showed the effects of smoking, showed the effects of drinking. And then afterwards, we actually did some games, and with the games, when the kids answered correctly or they won within the games, we were able to give out prizes to the kids. So if you can see, one of them is holding a volleyball. So we had a couple of sports equipment that were prizes. So when we did the workshop, we kind of told them that with you taking the workshop, you get an incentive if you are able to answer the question. So it kind of gave them more, they wanted to pay attention more. So within that, they were able to learn the causes, the dangers, effects, consequences, and prevention of drugs and alcohol in the community. And then with our Building a Common Ground workshop, this is a training that provides insight about cultural norms, behavioral patterns, and possible methods to better understand and connect with the FAS community. So with this one, it actually, within the presentation, we talk about each different island within the FAS community and the Micronesian Islands. We touch base on some, I believe, and then we kind of talk about the differences within each island, what languages this island speaks, where it's located, and what they're known for. So within this workshop, we're talking about the island, but we're also talking about cultural differences. Just in case, I believe one example that I always hear is when a kid goes to school and they're tired, it's like you're just looking at them because they're tired because they didn't have enough sleep last night because they were just on their phone. But within the presentation, we kind of talk about with culture. Sometimes if you're like the eldest one in the household, you're given certain tasks to uphold when you're in that household. So sometimes they're falling asleep late because their parents had them take care of their younger siblings while their parents were at work. So the training is just to kind of help give insight into the different cultures and why some students may be, or why some people behave a certain way because of the cultures that they come from. And then the next service that we offer would be interpretation and translation services. So with our interpretation services, we actually work with some organizations that reach out to us for interpreting. As mentioned, we do interpretations for Chuk, Pompey, Kusrai, and Yap. We do charge for these services as well. For interpretations, I believe it's $30 an hour, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, and then for translation, you can actually also, if we have interested partners who need translation on documents within the 4 languages as well, Pompey, Chuk, Yap, and Kusrai, we can translate those documents too. With the translation services, I believe we charge $1 for a word if it's like simple, but if it's complex and it hits a certain subject, then we charge $2 a word. Yes.
Yes, just wanted to add on also, so the interpretation and translation services, when it comes to clients, it's absolutely free. But when it's requested from partners or from the government agency, businesses, or other nonprofit organization, we can work together to either have it waived or we have to charge due to the limited availability of staff and also what we have here at the Micronesian Resource Center. And the staff are trained through different training for interpreting and translation services. And we also have our in-house training and to keep up with the improvement of our skills and uniformity of interpreting and translating.
And then another service that we also do would be community outreaches. I know Mr. Joya mentioned MyVan outreaches. Within the MyVan outreaches or other than the MyVan outreaches, we also do tablings where we go to different events that different programs will hold. So with these tablings, we'll actually go out and bring our brochures and talk about the services that we do. And then with the tabling, we also do community outreaches with different how do you say, different communities within the island. So we actually have done community outreaches with the Yap community, and then we've done some work with, sorry, it's slipping my mind, but we've done some outreaches with the Yap community where we went out and we actually provided the services to them, kind of introducing Mr. Cost to the different communities on Guam and what services they can avail for when they actually come to our office. And then this one, we also go out to different sites and the Palawan community. Sorry, I was actually looking to see, but we were able to reach out to about 27 sites in 2022. If Mr. Joyal could elaborate more on some of the sites that we've reached to.
Yeah, so part of the community outreach, we also do during the typhoon. After the typhoon, we went into like pocket communities to help distribute emergency kits, things like that, or we distribute food commodities, or even go to door within all over the island to distribute information such as things that we can translate for the community to get updated. Maybe during the typhoon there was barely any power or barely any internet services, so the best way was to go and hand out flyers and hand out information. So things like that. And then we do visit like schools, we visit churches just to kind of bring our services out more and getting the community be introduced to our services. There's still a lot of people on Guam that do not know of our services, and one of our biggest goals is to kind of battle that and give more information and have more accessible way to have them reach us by providing our vans to different communities. On every 3 months, we will move our targeted sites or our targeted village to different village all over the island to reach and the entire island and those that we have in a villainy of our services.
Thank you. And the next one that we also do would be our virtual village meetings. I think they're quite similar to the one that we're doing right now, where we actually have our partners come out to our virtual village meetings and they talk about some of the services that they offer. And while they're on the virtual village meeting with us, we ask them a couple of questions that might benefit us, or we actually have some viewers ask questions as well. In 2022, we had 51 episodes in total. With this one, they had a virtual village meeting every Tuesday, but I think this year we moved it to once a month. And so within this one, we'll ask our partner organizations or other offices to actually come on to talk about some of the services they offer, and they elaborate more on what they're able to offer, and they provide their contact information for the viewers there too. After each virtual village meeting, we actually just leave it uploaded on our Facebook page, just so if we have people who are viewing our pages, they can go back and just refer to the videos if they had any questions.
Yeah, if any of the partners or any of the government agencies, nonprofit organization, or anybody that wants to be part of the virtual village meetings, just contact us and we're more than happy to schedule in a couple of weeks or months for us to shoot the virtual village. Very similar to this one.
And then another service that we also offer in office would be our youth empowerment programs. So with our youth empowerment programs, we actually go out to different sites. Some of the sites that we do go out to at the moment would be our Gora housing site. So there is Toto Gardens, there's Pagacha and Agat, there is DYA, and then we also have our most common one, which is Hemelani's. When we go out to these sites, we actually go out with activities or sports activities to actually interact with the children, to actually give them more or other activities to do that would promote like physical health. So when we go out, we do have activities that we do with them. We bring out our sports equipment. So we bring out our rim, basketballs, and then if we do activities, we'll bring out like coloring supplies or coloring pages to actually do with the kids. Yes, we bring out our My Van a lot when we go out to these sites. So because we're there a lot of times we're pulling up, the kids are really like running towards us, like, oh my gosh, yeah. And we're just like, get away from the van, we don't want to hit you. But we have very experienced drivers too. So we're we're very careful about that. And then um, another one that I wanted to mention would be our Micronesian Youth Forum. If Mr. Joel wanted to elaborate after I give like a brief description of it. It's we had one last year and one in 2019. I think they stopped in 2020 and 2021 due to COVID. But with this Micronesian Youth Forum, we had students from high schools all over the island kind of come together to talk about 4 different topics. Of the 4 different topics, there was culture. They talked about culture. They talked about environmental stewardship. They talked about career and education, and with the difference, with these different topics, the students were able to go into one of the 4 topics that they chose, and then they had subject matter experts talk to them about that specific topic. Afterwards, the students were actually tasked to create an activity within the students in that group so that they can actually offer the activity to other students who weren't able to join the Micronesian Youth Forum. With students joining, they were actually able to get service learning hours from it. So they weren't just doing it just to do it. They also gained service learning as well. If Mr. Joya wanted to add on to that as well.
No, I think you covered it pretty much. But yeah, we're planning to host the next one in March, and hopefully, yeah, it goes
Also
through.
requesting use the rebar and mouth and marquee letters we will be setting up before
Oh, sorry.
around
I think
boxes for the lobs.
there you go.
And that will conclude our presentation for today. I feel like we touched base on a lot of it, but we can further explain a lot of the services that we offer here in office and out of office. When our clients do come in office, we offer what we can, but because we are a one-stop shop, we try to do everything right here and there. But if we're not able to, then we refer them over to our partner organizations that are able to. But if you had any questions, please reach out to my boss. His email is on the slide. Or you can reach us at our email or our phone numbers. We're very good about answering our phones, just not on the weekends because we're not here. But we do have an answering machine. So if you leave a message, we'll be sure to get back to you. I will go ahead and hand it back to my boss to further close it out. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, if you haven't followed us on our social media pages, please do follow us. We are very active on Instagram and Facebook for any other updates for the Micronesia Resource Center on what we plan to do in the next coming months. And then if you want to come and visit us, we are always leave our hands open for everybody to visit. Want to come and take a tour of the office, or just come visit us to inquire about the services we can provide for you and your family. The physical address is on 36 Tune Felix Camacho Street, Tamuning, Guam. That is the road right across of Applebee's in Tamuning next to GPO. The road opposite of Applebee's leading behind American Printing. We are the second building on your right. It's very easy to spot us with our signs, Menielu na Micronesia Resource Center. And that concludes the presentation. We thank you, Kirisotapur, Kalangan Kulumalalap, Kamakar, Jus Masya, Komoltata, and Sulang for listening to us and talk about our services. We are very happy to share this information to you. And we'd like to open up the webinar for questions and answers.
Hi, guys. At the moment, I do not see any questions in our Q&A. Checking YouTube, I don't see any either. If any of the attendees or people watching on YouTube would like to ask the Micronesian Resource Center any questions about the presentation or any other questions that you may have, please go ahead. We'll give them a few minutes. Oh, I see one in the Q&A. This is just one of the attendees wanted to say good job on the presentation. Thank you. Right. Well, I don't, at this moment, I don't see any other questions popping up on either the webinar or our YouTube page. Thank you guys again, Mr. Koss, Joel, and Dar for that great presentation. And thank you everybody for joining us for our second installation of our informational webinar series, It Takes a Village. Hope you guys can join us for our next one. We'll be sending out the flyer, but I believe it will be on Tuesday next week at the same time, 10 o'clock. All right, more commendations from Zoom. Great presentation and very informative. So these are comments from our viewers. All right, thank you guys.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.